Clear coating, arguably one of the most important steps in any miniature hobby. Let's talk about that. What's going on, guys? Vanilla Paints here, and today we're going to be talking about clear coat. This is arguably one of the most important steps on any miniature hobby. You want to make sure that when you're putting this on, you're preserving your model so that that paint stays on that model over the next course of 5-10 years. Now remember that when you do put your clear coat on, you're going to have to go back occasionally and you're going to have to re-clear coat some things. This stuff wears out after the course of handling the model and playing your tabletop games and all that. What I currently have in front of you is two different brands. These are the two brands that I tend to use almost all the time. It's important to note that today we're only going to be talking about dull coats or matte finishes. But both of these brands come in a wide variety of coats, from crystal clear, satin, matte, dull, you name it, it's out there. So the first thing I want to talk about is pricing. Here we have the TESTORS, which is $4.99, this little bitty can. Here we have Treehouse, this is $2.99. Now, TESTORS is a little bit more expensive, especially for the quantity that you get. But I've been using TESTORS since I first started this hobby. I use this virtually on every model that I use for myself. I really like the finish that I get on the end product. And it seems to do a really nice job of sealing the model. I have a whole bunch of Tyranids. I don't know if you guys can see them behind me. I've had those about a year. I've never had to go back and reapply the dull coat on them. I'm sure I will over time. But this stuff really holds up. It's also important to note that if you're doing anything that's supposed to be kind of dingy or war-torn, this is something that you're going to be interested in. That dull coat really helps keep the colors kind of knocked down, but it still allows for the vibrancy to come through. Now, when we go to this Treehouse, this is some really good stuff too. I use this on a lot of the models that I'm commissioned for, especially for Blood Bowl. Again, this is a matte finish, but this kind of has a little bit of sheen to that finish. And it works really well, especially when we're dealing with humans or dwarfs, even orcs. It kind of provides almost like a sweaty skin texture to those Blood Bowl models. The finish is really nice. Now, this does last a very long time as well, just like this. But I tend to find that this can, as it ages, once you get about halfway down the can, you should really just go ahead and throw it away. I don't understand what happens once you've used this. It's almost like the formula is very concentrated at the bottom. And I mean, I shake this stuff 2 to 3 minutes before I spray it, and it's been the same result with every can. So if you're going to use Treehouse, make sure you only use about half the can. Now, it could be just my location or the current store that I'm buying it from, which is Hobby Lobby. Maybe they have just a bad bunch right now. I will let you know once I find out. If you're going to be using this also, make sure that any time that you're doing any kind of clear coating, you're doing it in a well-ventilated area. All these clear coats or these finishes produce a lot of fumes, and they can cause respiratory issues down the road. So please make sure you're doing this safely. Respirator, or at least a well-ventilated area. So these are the two products. And again, there's a whole bunch out there. There's a whole bunch of different lines. Just make sure that you know what you're buying and you understand how it goes on. You don't want to get in a situation where you buy a product and you spray it on the model and realize, oh no, I don't like this. Because at that point, it's almost too late. Once you apply too many layers of any varnish, it starts to yellow. And that's something that you want to avoid because you don't want to ruin any of the detail on the model. There you go, guys. That is the products that I use on virtually every single model. I tried to cover them best that I can. If there's any other products that you would like me to review for clear coat, please comment down below. Let me know. I can always make a video on it. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to thumbs up. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Make sure you turn that bell icon too when you subscribe. That way you can stay up to date and know every time I post a video right when it goes up. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch everybody in the next video.